Hi, and welcome to Female Entrepreneurs Magazine, your go to platform for ambitious women who are ready to take the business world by storm. I'm your host, Angel France, and each week we'll dive into the latest strategies, stories, and success secrets from the most inspiring female entrepreneurs around the world.
Hi, and welcome to the Real Female Entrepreneurs. Our next guest is the visionary CEO of Diamond Factor Network. Are you ready to sparkle and shine? Because she is. She empowers individuals to amplify their impact and elevate their visibility as industry leaders. She is a thought leader, an international speaker, and a TV streaming expert. She transforms her clients' presence through strategic storytelling. We all need to learn that. And media mastery. Her work inspires breakthroughs and success worldwide just for you. Help me celebrate the incredible Barbara J. Beckley and her transformative mission to help you become the best you ever. Hey, Barbara.
Oh my God, I need to just keep that and just take that and listen to it every morning. Thank you. Thank you. And I'm going to call you Queen because I call the lady Queen. So you are deemed. I see your crown and it's shining.
Well, I have a nickname. It's called the Queen of Influence. So there you go.
Ooh, see? Didn't even know. See, I know the queens when I see them.
You do.
Queen of influence. Yes.
So something had to happen to inspire you to create the business that you have created. Do you mind telling me a little bit about what did that transformation jump for you?
Yeah. So way when I was just 2 years old. No, I'm just kidding. Way back, but it was a little way back. Yeah, a little way back. It really started at the age, I have to say, talking about way back 10, between 7 and 10. And the reason why I bring that up, because it's so important. I was a victim of being bullied. And people basically told me I was alien. Yes, Angel. They called me alien in school. And not just in one classroom, all of them. So I had fanfare, but in a negative way. Let's just say that. Every class I went to, they just thought I was this person because I was very, very shy. I was very, very quiet. So, usually when they see people quiet, they feel like, oh, they're dumb. They don't know nothing. Something's wrong with them, stuff like that. All, in their mind. And I was getting that for 4 years, just as a young child. Just think about it. As a young child, you're ugly, you're fat, you're not going to go nowhere. I mean, and over again in your mind. But I always tell people there's people in your life that come into your life to change the trajectory of things. And I call them angels in my life. Angels, see, this all kind of works out. And one of my teachers, every day, she seen what was going on and she did not like it at all. And she said, Barbara, I want you to stay back from school. I want you to ask your parents. When I ask your parents, can you stay back from school for like 30 minutes? So I'm thinking to myself, okay, I'm being talked about. Now I'm being punished. Really? Why I gotta stay? But the reason why she wanted me to, because she had me, yes, I'm going to say some old stuff, the chalkboard and chalk. She had me write, you are beautiful. You are amazing. You are lovely. You are unique in your own way. And she had me write it over, Angel, and over again for 30 minutes every day, to the point I was like, dang, this kind of, but there was a reason behind all that, because she was trying to get all those other thoughts, all those other things that all the children were saying, so I could just seep into my realness, that I am worthy. So saying all that, I led with that. And between her and my dad, wonderful father, father of the universe to me, my diamond, as I call people, that my diamond brand. He used to always, when I came home, she would help me at the school part. He would help me at the home part. And he would just say, you're my princess. You are amazing, Barbara. Don't let the children, so I was getting that, what we call now affirmation, from other people to the point where it had to seep into my brain, into my heart. So that's what started the process, Angel, to basically saying to myself, I want to make sure that everyone I don't care who you are, knows how worthy you are and how important you are in this world. You just didn't just drop in this earth just to be dropped and say, oh, I'm just here. What do I do now? No, you have a purpose and a place, and don't make something, because some people put different heights on it. Well, that person's doing that, so they're out there doing that. I'm just kind of here doing that. No, if it wasn't for you doing what you do, your purpose and what your gift is, then things wouldn't move in the world and the universe. So never place yourself as little and belittle yourself.
And back then they didn't even really call that bullying. They called it
Yeah.
being picked on.
Yeah.
So
yes.
Yeah. So I had big braces, the big ones, big glasses. All right. My hair was parted down the middle, and I already have a long nose. And and it went straight down. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like in the top 3 big girls in my class. All right.
Okay.
Basically, in 7th grade, I stopped growing, and here I am. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. And you get it.
Oh, I get it. I feel your pain. I was called Radar the Redheaded Roach Killer.
Oh no.
I was called all kinds of things. I could dance. So when I got to high school, I ended up on the dance team. And I remember my first year, freshman year, going up, and we all had to take pictures for it. My teeth got caught on my braces. Like that. And so they drew it was at all boys high school, because I went there to dance. They did a goatee, mustache, big glasses, and devil horns on me. So yeah. Yeah, I feel the pain. You know what I feel from that, though? And my mother, because things like that would happen, she made me every time I had a gift or something, she had lips that she gave to me to remind me to smile, to make others confused about what's going on.
Wow.
And so I think that's why I smile all the time now, because I'm just like, okay. And so in my bedroom, I actually drew lips all over my whole entire bedroom, and I had a lip cell phone.
Whoa.
Not a cell phone, wait, too long ago.
I know. Believe me, I'm in your ear.
Oh, pick a phone, but they were lips. They were so cute. So,
I remember those too. Now I'm thinking about it. I remember those ones.
Yeah, I have lip pillows, lip everything. Okay, just to remind me to smile. And you know what? I really believe that those things had to happen to me for me to be who I am today, to empower other people just like you empower other people. And you know what? It's something to be grateful for. Oh my God, what a blessing that you learned affirmations at 7 to 10. Oh my God.
I know. Like I said, at that time, I was just writing. But, like you say, you get older, you learn what it is. And so glad for that teacher. So, yeah. People come. That's why I tell people, I remind people, certain people come in your life for reasons and seasons to help you overcome certain things in life, to help you and give you hope. And she was giving me so much hope that I didn't even recognize she was giving me the hope and teaching me how to love myself. Yes.
That's exactly what she was doing. What about what got you to create the business that you have today, the Diamond Factor Network? What got you to create that?
So what happened with the affirmations from my teacher, she gave me this diamond story. So she sat me down, she told me about the diamond story and how the diamond, is not a diamond, like I put it, because this is not a real diamond. This is just to show everybody, it doesn't turn out like this at the beginning. This is not the beginning story of a diamond. I mean, basically it's a coal. And, some people understand the story that it's just, it's just, it's ugly. It's not nothing shining. But it goes through certain levels to get to the diamond. And she was telling me I was a diamond in the rough. And she said, you're going through certain things. She said, I know it hurts sometimes, Barbara. I know it's really painful sometimes. And I know you can feel the heat of it. And she, everything she was saying, the diamond goes through it. She said, but look what happens to it when it comes to be at the right timing. She said, but it has to go at the right timing. So your timing right now is teaching you and guiding you and growing you into this diamond. And she said, one thing about a diamond, it shines in the room all over. So she said, think about you shining for others to bring them to become diamonds. And I was like, And the only thing at that time, because I was young, Angel, I was like, well, I like diamonds. They look pretty. Didn't know she was like saying, okay, Barbara, you're going to become that eventually. And then, and I don't know now to this day, I still don't know if my dad and my teacher talked, but like 5 weeks after that, my dad was telling me about that I was a diamond in the rough. And he would tell me all the time, he said, Barbara, I just need to hone you and let you understand how important you are in this life. And that's why you're having some, some things, valleys, low valleys. But at the age of 17, what hit everything when I turned age 17 is this is where I took it on to say I needed to bring this diamond into another world. And it happened because of a tragedy. A lot of times things happen because, certain things happen in your life. Well, my tragedy was that my dad passed away when I turned 17. And he didn't pass away from a sickness. He didn't pass away from a car accident. He was basically taken away from this world from somebody else. And it hurt me so deep. I mean, you're talking about almost me losing it to the point where I was thinking about taking my own life. Because I was like, okay, my diamond's gone. It was like, that was the diamond that was helping me and molding me, going through that diamonds, scenario, that story. And for him being gone, I was like, okay, what's there left to do? And I went into a world spin when I found out, because my dad and my mother were separated at that time. They had got a divorce. So I was living with her, and the phone call came in, the police basically, and they told us about it. And when my mother told me, I just basically just ran into my room. I shut the door and basically became She-Hulk. I tore up everything, Angel. I mean, everything. I didn't even know I could flip a bed until that. I mean, everything I tore. They said when they went in the room, they finally got me out of the room because they had to get me out. They called because my mother called the fire department and everything else because she was just so scared for me and my life. They said they couldn't believe how the room was just destroyed so much. And it was just me. I went in red. Like how people say, you made me upset, I'll go in red. I went totally red. And they found me on the floor I was like a little baby on the floor just crying. And they were concerned about me. So they put me under a 72-hour suicide watch and took me to the hospital. Well, that last day, a nurse came in my room just to check for my vitals, see if I was okay. And at that time, I was contemplating suicide. At that point, I was just like, still done. But she came in the room, took my vital, but she was about to walk out the door. She turned around, Angel, and she was looking at me crazy. And I was like, why are you looking at me? In the back of my mind, I'm thinking, okay, I'm thinking about this. Can you get out so I can do what I need to do? I mean, basically, that's what I was thinking because I had the mindset at that time. And she looks at me, she said, I don't know what it is, but something's telling me to let you know that whatever you're thinking about taking your own life, please don't. Because something about you being a diamond and something in that sort. Now, the nurse didn't know my dad. The nurse didn't know my teacher. She didn't know none of these people. But she's coming to me, and my dad is talking through her to me.
Yeah.
My whole world just shook. Whatever I was thinking about taking my life, that was like out the picture at that time because I was like, now I have to do this. This is a purpose that I need to do for my life. And I'm always talking about people and purpose. I said, my purpose, if it's anything, even if I just touch one person, one lady, one little girl, and let them know how worthy they are, I have to do that. And that's what started the Diamond Factor and the Diamond Factor Network because of the whole diamond in the rough.
Oh, wow. Oh, my word. And I was not expecting that story. And you actually literally do that for women because, we come into this world wanting to share what we have. And we don't all know how to get ourselves out there. And that is exactly what you do. Do you mind sharing exactly what you do when you take on a client in the transition?
Yeah. Well, I always remind everybody, women and men, but I somebody work more a lot with women, is that we hear the word brand. Know your brand. You need to get your brand. And some people soon, they just go right to website, color, fonts, all that stuff, the image, you got the hair and all that. And I'm like, okay, that's all well and good. And I'm not putting past that. I'm not, down any brand experts at all. But you got to know here first. You can put yourself in everything, makeup, camera, all that stuff. But if you don't know who you are, and because you're your brand, Angel's her brand. We talked before. I'm just going to put this out here because I'm always want to be open here. We talked before we came on here, and just coming into the room, I felt the loving, I felt the caring, I felt the exciting of Angel. She's her brand. Now, if I would have came in here and like, okay, we're going to do an interview, Barbara. Okay, what's your name? Da, 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 da. I'd have been like, oh, this is not feeling it at all. But I couldn't say that to the person because they're inviting me on their show. But you can understand that you make that. You bring people into your world. So that's what I help other women and, like I said, men do is say, okay, you need to make sure you're creating your brand of you and no one else's brand. Don't start slipping into other because then now that's a slap in the face, not to only you saying that you're not worthy or you're not good enough. And I believe in God. So that's a slap to me, a slap in the face to God, because he made us wonderfully made, and for you to sit there and say, well, I want to be like this. I want to do this. And then, well, what about you? And that's what I always have to bring my clients back to over and over again, everything that we're building for them.
That is so amazing because you actually do TV shows too, correct? You actually have TV shows, you totally brand them head to toe, you get them out into the marketplace, you do all of those things.
Yes. Yeah. So I basically say, I want to brand, if you want to brand a TV streaming show of your show, that's what I help you do. And you can come under my network and be about all that. Because, the first people ask, oh, where do? You go Roku, you go, Apple TV and stuff. I say, yeah, all that's there. But see, I always got to bring them back. I said, but no one's not going to want to look at you or see you or see what you're about if they don't understand who you are, your brand and your story and what you bring to the world. So let's work on that first. And then we'll build all the mechanical stuff after that, as I call it. Yeah.
That is so true, because we want to go 300 steps forward where we have to take ourselves back and start like right here.
Yeah. 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 You got to start here first. That's the foundation.
And I love the fact we talked a little bit earlier. I try to talk to everybody a little bit earlier. However, Barbara and I got each other's jam. So I said the next question totally alludes into this. So most of you already know that I do have a very successful insurance company. And so I was talking to Barbara and she said something about by day and by night. Explain what you do by day and by night, the two names.
I know me and you're going to work on that together, right? With the spin. So by day, I always tell people, as people know Wonder Woman, Diana, so that's her name. Diana, she's doing all the artifacts. She's researching with her glasses and all that stuff, right? So by day, I work in the insurance industry with commercial businesses to find them basically coverages that will suit for their exposures and make sure that, they don't pay a lot of money if something happens like fires or whatever. So I do that by day. I'm an account executive, broker and everything. But by night, I become the Diamond Factor Network. And I do the lights, camera, action. And I make sure that people understand their story within their brand. So that's my night. Well, really night, early mornings, and any time between.
So with them understanding the fact that we're a lot alike, we have chewed, and a lot of female entrepreneurs do have this. And I love them to understand that a lot of us do have a full-time position that we work somewhere, or we have another company, and then we also have something else that we do. So how do you balance the demands of basically two full-time positions, a family, and also friends, and everything else you do in your life? How do you balance it?
Well, the biggest thing that's always like this in my head, and hopefully this is everybody else's head when I say it, boundaries. Boundaries. I'm saying it real slow because it's so important. I know you hear that. People are like, oh, you got to create your boundaries and stuff. But don't take it lightly, because if you don't put those boundaries and stick to those boundaries, stick to those intentions that you're doing, then it is going to be difficult to kind of do the two. I have to have I know I seen a movie a long time ago where this person was saying, my hours are from 8 o'clock to 7 o'clock. And then after that, they did other things, right? First, I used to be like, Dad, that's kind of mean how they said it to a person. But you know what, Angel? Throughout the years, I understand why they do that. He just said it in a kind of bad tone, but it's a boundary. You have to make somewhere you have to stop and say, okay, I'm doing this for a few whatever hours, and then I have to move on to something else. Especially if you're dealing with your day job that has a time already every day. And then from that point, between the hours that you don't work that day job, what are you putting in for yourself? Like you said, for family, and then for your clients that you have outside of your business. So that's why I had to put boundaries. So if I have an hour meeting with somebody, I have to keep it within that hour. And if they need to go longer, then we set another appointment because I have to make sure that I'm still gathering and getting everybody else done while I'm still taking care of them as well.
Perfect advice. I'm a time block freak. So I understand this is the time that I do things, and that's it. Self-care, I have to put in. I have to put in everything, just like you.
Yeah, self-care. Yeah. So early mornings I get up, I do my devotionals, for an hour, probably an hour and a half, because I said I have to start my day on a positive note. So some people do meditation, some people pray, some people read, the Bible, some people read other, works that's going to get them motivated. Whatever you do, maybe you listen to, everybody, different speakers or what have you, music. So whatever is your thing, do that in the beginning, because that starts off your day. Even if soon as you stop that, something might come and say, nah. Somebody, getting me like, okay, already you're starting with the negative right now. Really? No, but you already advanced with them already, because you already started your day by saying, I don't care whatever happens after this, I'm going to keep my positivity going. Yeah.
That is the biggest statement that we have to do. And you know what? I find that one of the biggest struggles. And what time do you want to wake up? Mm-hmm. That's the other thing. If you have a schedule and you have to be at work at a certain time, great. You have time skills. Or if you have children that have to go off, that's a time skill. For those of us who don't have a time schedule, say we don't start till 9 o'clock, what time are you going to really wake up? And that is something they have to put a consistent effort in on.
Yeah. And the thing, just to answer that real quickly, Angel, somebody just because I seem like every time I'm working on times and getting up in the morning, somebody comes in my life and say, how bad do you want it? In different ways. And sometimes not directed to me, sometimes they be saying to other people, but I always take it back to me, because you have to ask yourself, how bad do you want certain things? So if you have to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning, first of all, go to bed early enough. So you have that, like you said, you have to have that time. You have to get the rest, because I don't care what you do in life, you need that rest. Like you said, your me time. But then you have to say to yourself, okay, what time am I going to get up to start my day, to do the devotions, get myself, my mind and soul together first, because that has to happen before anything else happens. And then, put your day for that. What I did for my day job is I call the late shift, because I want my morning to be the devotion. I want my morning to be with my clients that I have fun with, like from my network. I like all that. And then when I'm done with all that, then I start my day job at 10 o'clock in the morning. So that's where my boundaries came in at, because first, everybody, when they start at 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock in the morning, my day job. And I was like, nah, I want to start my day off kind of in a different sense. So that's what I did. Yeah.
I love the fact that you actually knew what you wanted to do, and you actually blocked that time to go later. And I'm sure that wasn't easy. I'm sure you went to them and said, this is what I want. And yeah,
I'm just glad they had flex time. Thank God for flex time. But yeah, that's what kind of worked out.
You've already given us so many chunks of info, but what about a new female entrepreneur who is saying, I really want to start this business, but I just don't know? What advice do you have?
Well, first we got to dig in, and I know I'm not a psychologist, but I've worked with a lot of people with experiences, and the first thing I always say is we need to dig into I just don't know, because again, you can't start off somewhere and you don't understand you or yourself. So sometimes when I talk to new entrepreneurs that are coming in that want to do a TV show, sometimes I tell them, and they look at me like I'm crazy, Angel. I say, you probably not ready to start this just yet. And they're like, well, why not? I want my own TV show. I said, but no, we need to lay the foundation. And right now we need to find out what you like, what's your likes, what's your dislikes. What do you want to help? What you want to be? I always tell people everybody's a lighthouse of the world. What is your lighthouse of the world? What you want to get? What are you serving? So, and then they start saying, you see the light bulbs kind of, the mind going a little bit like, okay, well, you got a point there. Because I said, I wouldn't do you any justice by just having a show on the network and you still not feeling comfortable in your own skin on what you do. I would never even take you in. So yeah, I am saying no for now because I want to help you with this part first. And that's what I usually do with clients that come in.
I feel there's a lot that has to go in before the show happens. Yes. You have to have a lot more of grit and a lot more of I've fallen down and bruised my knees.
Yeah. And I always tell people all this stuff is just a tool for marketing purposes and brand and increasing your brand. So you just like social media is a tool. See, some people take my social media and they ran off and think it's their life. And I'm like, okay, yeah, you show your life, but it's still a tool. Your life is your life. And you have to live your life the way you live it. So, because I always tell people when you get up every morning, you're going to still be in this body of yours. You're not going to be different. So you need to make sure you feel comfortable in your body. So that's why I tell people, don't even start. Well, I want a show because everybody else is doing a show. Because I asked somebody, I said, why you want a branding? Why you want to do your own TV stream show? Well, Lisa and Sherry, they're doing theirs and their podcast. So I thought I need to do mine. Well, okay, maybe on their end, and not saying that you can't, but I want to know the why. And I don't want to put Lisa and Sherry in there because they shouldn't even be in this. Yeah.
That's exactly right. It's who you are. And why do you want it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Why? Definitely. And you know what? I mean, the biggest thing, like you said, it's marketing. It's a tool.
Yeah. 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 And some people think that it's the be all, like, okay, if they don't have their show or if they're not in a magazine, that they're nothing. And see, I need to teach people. I mean, I work in the business of, like you said, being people in magazines, getting people their shows. So I love that. That's my jam. But I don't want people thinking that that's you because you're still yourself, even with all that not around you, that you're still awesome and special and worthy. So that's what I want to get people to know, because like I said, that's just like a little cherry on the top with having your show and everything. But you got to understand who you are, because when all that can fade away, because it can, that you have to still say, well, I am an expert in my lane and I love me. Yeah.
100%. What about the woman who is a female entrepreneur? They have a successful business, but they're struggling right now or doubting something in themselves.
Yeah.
Any suggestions?
This goes back again. See, it all comes back to understand the core reason why there's a doubt there. Mm-hmm. See, I always tell people, I tell people to give people a chance when they seem like they're angry or they're disturbed or they're upset or they're pissed off. And we always say whatever word, because there's there's an underlining thing there. There's something deeper. I was just talking to another friend of mine the other day about a sibling of theirs. And they said, it seemed like they're always upset, Barbara. They're always just yelling. They don't feel comfortable. And I said, but there's something deeper. See, we're just looking at the outside. That's like the Band-Aid right there. You got to dig deeper. And I know this is a little psychology, probably like, okay, Barbara, I'm not a psychiatrist, but you got to understand that there is a deeper thing. So you could understand how to deal with it. So when an entrepreneur comes to me and says, well, I got all this stuff going on, but there's just something else that there's just something there. And I was like, well, we got to figure out what that something is. So we need to talk this thing out, because that's what's stopping you. Yeah.
And business is psychiatry. It's all mental.
Yeah.
And think of a sports player. It's all mental.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's just little things I have them do, little exercise that I have them to do. I say, have you ever sat down in a room that's, maybe if you have children, have the children play somewhere else. If you have your husband, say, I need at least 30 minutes here or an hour for myself, because you need to get away from all distractions. I tell anybody, this is for new entrepreneurs that are just starting, or for entrepreneurs that have been in the business for a while and they're still having that, they don't kind of get certain things. Go in a room with a piece of paper and a pen. And I tell people, I said, don't use a laptop. I don't want you typing on a Word document on this one, because something about when you write, Something when you write something down more so than typing something does something different to your body and to your whole being. So when you write down there, I do this for people, or I am an expert in this, or I have a skill in this, your mind starts attaching to that. And then you start figuring out, okay, now what is stopping me? If I am an expert in this and this and this, what's that stopping me there? And that's what I have them do. And then I tell them, I said, write. They said, well, how many? And this is the first day. Well, what you want me to write? What, 3 things, 5 things? I said, no, write until you can't write no more. We're not putting a number on it. Some people come out with 3 pages. Some people come out with 1 page. Some people, have a problem. They have like 3 still. And I'm like, okay, you're stuck in that 3. Let's get you out of that 3.
So knowing what you know now, what if you learned in business that you would go back and tell your 18-year-old self?
Understand that if no one else loves you, just to love yourself. And to ask the questions. One thing I hate when people say, I know this is a stupid question, but no question is stupid. I want to say that slow. No question is stupid, because you know what? You didn't know. You don't know what you don't know, and you need to find out what it is. So ask the question. To me, what's stupid, if we want to use the word stupid in a sense, I hate that word, it's stupid not to ask the question. So you want to make sure that you ask. Some people get tired of me. I don't care. I can be in a room full of executives, whatever, and they're talking about a new whatever product. And I'm sitting there like, okay, now what is this product going to do? How's it going to, and they're like, okay, here Barbara go. I mean, they know me now. Sometimes I have my list. I say, oh yeah, I got a list. And if we can't talk about all in this hour, I need to sit with somebody so we can get the answers. Barbara didn't used to be that way. Barbara used to be scared, fearful, and shy, and missed out on a lot of things. So if I went back to my, young Barbara, I would tell her, ask all the questions you have to, and don't worry about whatever anybody's saying. Be bold with it. Love yourself and understand that you are worthy.
And just like you, I'm a storyteller. I love telling the story, asking the question through a story. So I always give an analogy and get them to actually like, okay, so if this happened in this scenario, blah, blah, blah.
Blah. I do the same thing. So say for instance, we were, in a room, and I always do that. And then sometimes, people that don't understand the story, the whole thing, they're like, oh, she got a point. You can tell they're like, oh shoot. We need to figure that. But they don't want to say it,
So now that we went back, let's go forward. Do you mind tell us how you're planning right now for the new year?
For the new year, with the Diamond Factor Network, because right now it's under another big platform. So Barbara is going to reach and step on faith and everything she has. And she's basically going to go to the next level with the network. So I'm going to become like, I always get an example, like a Netflix. So I'm going to be the Netflix. I'm going to be the Diamond Factor Network Netflix. And I want to make sure that people have an opportunity to have their own channel with a lot of shows on it if they want to, or just have, if you just want your own one show, you can have it. Either way it goes. But I'm there to help you bring out your brand within that, in that whole platform. And that's what I want to do. So I'm reaching for the stars on that. And I always tell people, you got to go through things and show people, lead the way. Because if you're a leader in whatever area you're in, you got to lead by example. So I'm trying to be that leader by example. So if I don't try to touch the stars and the moon and everything, then how do I expect my clients or anybody else that comes into my world to do it? So that's what I'm doing.
That's awesome. So what is one key strategy maybe you've done to grow your business that people looked at you and said, oh, no, don't do that. You're crazy.
Well, yeah, this one I'm about to say that, yeah, people still think I'm crazy on this one, Angel. So every month, what I've been doing is doing probably hour and a half monthly workshop, webinar, however you want to call it, about the series I call it Light Camera Action, about basically creating a story, creating a commercial, but doing it by storyboarding, by telling the story. Because a lot of people do commercials and they just kind of throw some videos out there and say, okay, here's my commercial or whatever. First of all, every company, whoever you are, should have a commercial. I don't care. You don't have to be McDonald's and all that to have a commercial. You basically are a business, whatever you're doing, people need to know your story. and you can do it through video. So every month I teach it, and I do it free. I don't charge for it. People think I'm crazy. Some people that have been in the workshop, they're like, Barbara, you give so much and you teach us so much and you show us so much, but you're not putting a price tag on it. And I said, well, that's the strategy of it, because I don't want anybody paying me and they don't know who I am. They don't know my personality. They don't know how I work. They don't know how I teach. They don't know what I bring to them. So I want to invite them in to my world and see if they like it or not. If they don't like it, hey, at least they took something that can help them along the way. And if they do like, and we jam together, then let's work together. So that's my strategy that I've been doing for a while. And yeah, some people, you're going to get a hold, because everybody's not going to be for you. And some people it's going to be like, whatever. But I just want people to understand what I bring to the table. And I don't want the money part to be the problem. Because some people put that as the big problem. And I was like, let's put that to the side for a minute. Okay. Let's just get to know each other. Let's network with each other. Let's learn each other. And that's my strategy of what I do.
Well, I cannot wait to throw that up for our audience to actually go and visit you and take your course and everything. I know I have one called Shine and Be Featured, and I'm the same way. I agree.
I can't wait to get to yours.
Yes. I love that. All right. If you had a superpower for just one day, what would it be?
Oof. Just one? Okay.
And I'm limiting you to 24 hours, and I'm cutting you off.
Okay, you're the queen. I got 24 hours. Superpower I would love to have is going back to understanding the person of what their purpose is. And just understanding that just off the bat, so I can help them move forward. I think that would be a wonderful superpower for me, for people, because it takes that there's a lot of time involved sometimes trying to really, like I said, dig. But if I know it already, then we're already, one step ahead here. And then I can just help them build their life on that alone.
Yeah, that intuitive mechanism would be fabulous, but an immediate intuitiveness.
Yes, like boom. I can just see so many people I can help in that 24 hours to get them to shine their light. Like I always tell people, you're a lighthouse of the world. So I would like to do that with them quickly. Yeah.
So what's one fact about you that a lot of people don't know about?
Okay. I'm going to tell it on this show because I love Angel. I just fell in love with her today. Reality shows. Crazy reality. I'm going to put it that way. Like those love shows like Married at First Sight and all that kind of stuff. I know. Maybe 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, I kind of turn them on and kind of just leave my world for a minute and watch the show and get really into it sometime too. Like I'm there with them. I was like, that's kind of scary. But that's kind of my little guilty pleasure.
No, not him. Don't pick him. No, he's not going to be good.
He just did this. He just said it that way. Why would you want to stay with him for the rest of your, that's me in the, like in there, right? He just said this. You say you didn't like that. What are you talking about? Yeah.
So my nephew is a pitcher for the Astros, and his wife is Jessica McCain, who played in Real World Portland in the So talking about reality shows, yeah,
I would be around her.
So a favorite book. What is your favorite book?
Oh, well, I know this sounds kind of, like everybody would say, but I have to say the Bible. And, I was thinking, I read other books outside that, of course, but the Bible is the wisdom, the knowledge, the affirmations that I say, through my whole life. That's what got me. I always tell people, always have an anchor in your life to anchor you when you need it. And for me, the Bible is that, because it's parables, there's stories in there. We're talking about storytelling. All that's in there. Anything that you go through, you could just look up the topic and just go to the Bible and it will tell you certain things. So that's just what I live off of to pull me through.
The lessons in there are just key to everything.
Yeah, to everything. If you think about it, from Moses to everybody, they went through some things. They weren't not perfect at all. I mean, half the people that was used in the Bible, they had certain defects or something that was going on with them, and then you see the hope after they went through the struggles and things of how they were used. So that's what I look at myself, because I'm not perfect. I have we all have different things in our lives, but we were still able to be used in this world with our purpose that we have. So that's what I love about it.
All right. What about a favorite song to get you moving?
Oh, Elton John, I'm Still Standing. I'm still standing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know it's oldie but goodie, but yeah, that's
good.
I
That's a
love.
good song. I love it. All right. What about a favorite quote?
Oh, I should have wrote it down, but it's one by Maya Angelou where she talks about, you could like something you could tell a person, but you can. I know I'm rephrasing it here. You can tell a person something, but they'll always remember you the way you made them feel, and that's one that I love, because I always want to have a lasting impression with something that I made them feel a good way for themselves, not just meeting me and saying, "Oh, I met Barbara J. Beckley," but that they feel good and comfortable with themselves. So, yeah, because I think that lasts a long way. Because one thing, like me and you, just a prime example, real quickly, we met each other. We just met each other today. We talking to each other before this. I feel like you're my sister from another mother. I really do. I mean, I really feel warm, and I'll remember you forever, even if we never talk again, which I hope that doesn't happen. But
we will.
I will remember you because of the way you made me feel in this moment right now. Yeah.
Well, thank you. That's my goal, is to everybody just to feel loved, warm, fuzzy, and
Well, check
motivated.
it off. You checked off that goal today.
And how do you stay motivated?
Look at here. I got to repeat myself with people like you. So, yeah, I always go back. Well, first of all, I go back to my dad and the teacher. And I tell myself, I don't want to take for granted what they instilled in me, what they showed me, especially with my dad being gone. And then he wanted me to be that diamond that shine. He always would talk about how I would shine. So I feel like I have an accountability to that. So that's what motivates me when I'm feeling a certain way down. Because, I mean, we're human too. We're not always going to be like, yeah. I mean, some people that do that, and they might be doing something else with that. But most of the time, we're going to go in our downs and ups and everything, just like Angel said. But you have to have that anchor again. You have to have something that's pulling you back to say, okay, just don't stay there. I always tell people, yeah, feel sad, cry out, yell, scream, whatever that's going on in your world. You got to do that because you got to let it out. That's called self-care. But just don't stay there. Just don't stay there. That's what I tell people.
All right. So we already know you have an amazing course giveaway. So how can people stay connected with you or join your course that you do monthly?
Yeah, so they can stay connected with me. It's my website is www.barbarajbeckley.com. That's where it shows everything, and my courses within there. Every month on the third Saturday, I do the course to, just like I said, to make sure that you get to know me, that we get to know each other. You get to see my style. I always tell people you got to check out everything before you just say, okay, am I going to invest in this? And I'm just not talking about investing in money. I'm talking about investing in time too. Because time is more of the essence than even money. You can always find a way to get money, create something, do something. But time, that's like this time right now is gone. I mean, I can't go back to 7 o'clock this morning. So, yeah.
Well, thank God we had fun. So is there anything else you want to share with our audience that we haven't talked about?
Well, I think the only thing I want to just still put in people's world right now is that you have something deep in you. Figure that out, or have somebody help you figure it out, because you weren't put on this earth just to be here walking around, just like whatever. You have that purpose. You do. And I know you hear a lot of people say that, but you have to understand that for yourself. Make that your foundation. Let that grow in whatever you do. If it's a business, if it's nonprofit, whatever you're doing, if it's just helping children or people, or just putting a smile on somebody's face, just make sure that you know that you are worthy of that, and then grow into it.
Yeah. Barbara, you were fabulous. I loved having you with me as a guest.
Thank you. I love you.
Love you. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Female Entrepreneurs Magazine. I hope you found inspiration, actionable tips, and a sense of connection with our incredible community of driven women. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, leave a review, and share the episode with fellow entrepreneurs who are ready to elevate their game. Remember, your success is just the beginning, and we're here to support you in every step of the way. Until next time, keep shining, keep thriving, and remember, you have the power to create the business and life of your dreams. Stay inspired, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.